Alrighty, Lumberjacks, welcome back to another Logging from Scratch episode. And today we're going to be doing a little finning contract. So there's an area back here in Port Murray, and we're going to be going down to there. Now, in that area, we have a whole bunch of birch trees, and then a whole bunch of these kind of oaky, dead-looking brown trees here. So what we're going to do is we're going to clear out a bunch of these brown trees, and we're going to leave the birch ones there so that they can kind of expand and be better for harvesting later on. Or maybe they don't plan to harvest them, I'm not sure, but contract's there to kill them, so we'll go ahead. Now, I can't remember where I'm going, so we're gonna have to figure this out. I haven't been here in a while. It's all grown in and looks all different. So we're gonna go there, and all we have to do is we're just gonna be cutting them down into 7-meter lengths and just leaving them there. We don't have to clean them up or do anything special with them. We just need to chop them down. So there should be a road somewhere. Oh, here we go. So we're gonna whip up here. I think it's up here. It's all marked off. It's already kind of been plowed on the outside edge, so we can kind of get an idea of where we need to start. So let's take a little wander here. Let's park this guy right here. Yes, so here we are. Okay, so we got a combination of the two. So we have these kind of birch-looking trees here, and then we got these kind of dark maple, oaky, I don't even know what these are, but we have to get rid of the brown trees and clear all those out. So we got our little kind of outside line here that we got to follow. We got this other part here. Oh, it's actually kind of a big area. We got a lot of trees to knock down. So like I said, we're going to knock them down. We're going to leave them in 7-meter lengths, or close to 7 there. All in big piles all over the place. And those guys can come pick them up later. And I guess they just want this area to be more birchy. So we're going to leave that alone and see what happens here. Now we got our big our Tiger King here on the back with our processor. So we're just going to unload this guy here. Let's lower that gate down. Fire this guy up and get to work. It's nice to have these little contracts. I like these little ones. Nothing too big, just kind of a small area thing. Take our time, no rush, have fun, all the good stuff. Then we can talk, lots of talking, because that's what we like to do. So let's go this way. Let's first get our bearings straight here. So we can just set our length to 7.6, perfect. 7-ish meters, which is good. Let's see if we can hook onto this guy here. Ooh. Ho, tricky. Oh, jeez, I can't even see what I'm doing here. There we go. Oh, just want to get that tree. There we go. And I'm actually just going to leave this up on the road for him. Be nice. Make it nice and easy for him to grab. There we go. Some ugly, weird-looking trees here, but good luck to them. We're definitely not cutting for beauty here. We're just cutting for some nice clearing. All right, so what's the best way to do this? I think we just kind of run around the outside and kind of keep her clean here. Let's grab this guy here. So let's see here. Topic of the day. So I've been getting lots of questions about the next farming simulator and what I think about it and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, maybe by the time this video comes out, they will have announced something, but currently, I haven't heard a word. There hasn't been any news about whether one's coming or whether one's going to be coming or what it's going to have entitled, anything. So I haven't really heard much about it. I imagine, I think the biggest thing right now is everybody wants a new engine. They want new physics, they want new ground stuff, they want, kind of some spin tires action if possible. I mean, look at the game Farmers Dynasty there. Even the game Farmers Dynasty, as, in my opinion, not super high quality as it is, at least even that game itself has, ground imprinting from your tires when you drive around with your tractors and stuff, which is seems like a pretty simple mechanic. If a game like that can pull it off, you'd think a game of this kind of stature should be able to do that. So the biggest concern I have of the next game is, yes, they're going to have to probably make a new engine or severely, drastically change this one to make it better. Now, two things concern me. One, if they keep the same engine, they're keeping the same physics. That's just the way that is. So if they decide this is the engine they want to keep using, we're going to have the same log physics, the same log issues, the same old rigmarole, which is fine because at least it's, an evil I know kind of speak. So if it's something I have to mod, it should be something I can handle and, be able to deal with. My other concern is if they do decide to upgrade the engine and put in a new engine entirely, they might. I think there's a strong possibility they'll leave logging entirely out of it. They won't have logging anymore because it really is a niche market. Like, it's a really small group. I'm trying my best, and the community's trying its best to try to make it very clear that we are, not just a tiny bit of the community. We are, a big part of it on the logging side. But, as much as I want to believe that, I constantly look back and I go, there's so many more people doing the farming side than there is doing the logging side. So it's really hard to justify, keeping that feature in the game if they do make a new one. So, I mean, I hope, I really do hope that they make a new engine, make a new game, have better physics, have better everything. But I have this sneaking suspicion that if they do create a new game, it's not going to have logging in it. I don't think it will. Now, why do I believe that? Because I just have a good idea on how companies work. I hope I'm wrong. I've been wrong before, and I hope I am, but I have a sneaking suspicion if they redesign the game from the ground up, they'll say, why do we even bother with logging? Let's just stick to farming, because that's where our majority of our crowd is. Again, I'm hoping that doesn't happen, but the other possibility is they'll just recant the engine again, adding basically kind of the same kind of stuff. But I haven't heard nothing, so I don't know. With the whole coronavirus, COVID-19 stuff going on, it's very possible that things get pushed back even further. Lots of companies are struggling right now with staff and struggling with, money and all that stuff. So, it's possible we might not see it for another year or a couple years. Like, you just never know what the plans are, right? And it's all based on, how they do financially with the whole thing. Some businesses came out doing, ended up just fine, and then others are kind of going under. So it's going to be an interesting year, to say the least. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think the next game will just be... I mean, obviously the history is telling us that it would be, because this engine that we're using right now is just a revised engine from basically FS19 that's been revised so many times. But unfortunately, with its revisions, it's still just this really bare-bonesy kind of engine compared to some of the stuff out there now. Our biggest concern that we have all the time when we're doing multiplayer is that this engine is basically utilizing single cores only. It doesn't utilize multi-core processing. It just does a single core. So even when you're hosting dedicated servers, you can have a 15-core, 16-core processor that's top of the line, best thing ever. But this game only utilizes one of those cores, just one. So it doesn't matter how good you think you got it. You have to find a computer that has the best single core performance, because that's what this game will use. But I mean, it's in 2020 we shouldn't be having this problem. This game should be able to handle. I mean, multi-core processing is not a new thing. It's not something that just suddenly came out of the woodwork. It's been around for a very long time now. But unfortunately, this game is still kind of stuck in the past. In terms of that. Where are we gonna lay this one? Let's put this one right here. So I'm really hoping they improve the game, but I'm also scared that if they do decide to do that much improvement, they might just leave features like logging out, because it'll be a lot of work to put this back into a brand new engine. And if they don't see the market there for it, we might lose it. Now, again, it's up to us as well as a community to really push it out there. I try to do the best I can. It's a lot of work trying to schedule and keep videos and keep content coming all the time, because, you know, as much as I like doing this for myself, like, you know, to create the whole FDR Logging brand and have fun with it and do my thing, I really, really do want to see this grow bigger and better as a community, more so than just, you know, me. Like, I'm not going to be around forever. One day I'm going to die, and I really want to see that this community continues. Like, I want to see that it's going to go somewhere, or at least the ideas behind it, right? Like, I think it's really cool. I mean, even things like this feature, being able to process, you know, like stuff like that, you know, adds such a level of realism that you could 100%, if you had the control set up, you could 100% train somebody to run a real machine via this game. So I really think there's some potential there. Whether people see it or not, I definitely do. I hope this community, not only for the fun of it, like, I mean, I enjoy this just because strictly it's so much fun for me to do this. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's a weird hobby that turned into like just a passion of mine, and I just absolutely love it. But as someone who's created a lot of this stuff to the point where it is now, I kind of want to see it become, you know, like its own little legacy. I want to see it become something more than just, oh, some video game that happened one time, it's over. Like, I want to see people continue this. And the more I see people modding, the more I see people creating, doing stuff, even inspired by the things I've made, that just shows me that I think there's a strong possibility this community has a very long future ahead of it for growth. Like, I think it'll do really well. I don't think we're going to see it disappear. The only thing that'll stop it will be if the developers pull the logging out of the game. Now, I'm hoping, and I'm really hoping, based on, you know, the licensing they've got from Ponzi, the licensing they've got from Komatsu, that kind of stuff, you know, really does inspire them to keep going. But I don't know. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens over the next little while. I can't guarantee nothing, really. But yeah, you guys are the community. You guys are what keep it going. I might make the stuff, but if you guys aren't out there enjoying it and using it and putting it in your own videos, then, you know, there's not a lot to do, not a lot to say about it. So, as much as people think that I create and control a lot of it, it's totally not true. I may create a lot of really cool content for people to play, but think about it, if none of you guys were playing it, if none of you guys were watching it, if none of you guys were using it, none of it would exist. It wouldn't matter. I'm sure there's dozens of games out there right now that don't have as big of a following, where guys just like me who have gone in and just dedicated all this time to make these awesome things go unnoticed because there's just nobody really in that community. So I like to think that I've really helped push the community into what it is now. And I'm always trying to look for ways to develop it better, to, you know, try to make it more fun. But it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of work from me just to give it to you guys. I try to make it easy for you guys so you guys can really enjoy it, but I definitely understand the difficulties for sure. So yeah, you guys, if you like logging, definitely keep on rocking, man. That's all I got to say. Keep it going. And then maybe, you know, if it gets big enough towards the end of my life, if I'm starting to retire from it and get away from it, or, you know, if I'm just too old and running out of gusto, maybe I'll start teaching. Like, everybody always says that they really want me to create tutorial videos for modding. Now, my biggest problem with making tutorial videos is I'm not necessarily right on a lot of the stuff I do. I do a lot of weird kind of duct tapey situation-y stuff to clean up issues, and I don't consider it proper modding. I don't consider it proper modeling. It's not by any means professional or business standard, some of the stuff I do. But I mean, it works. A lot of the stuff I do does work, and I like the way I do it. So when people say, oh, well, you should create modding videos to teach us all this stuff, and it's like, well, I want to teach you, but I have a funny feeling that if I do try to teach you, it's not going to be the right way, and then I'll just get a lot of criticism and scrutiny about the way that I'm teaching it. And I just don't really want to do that. Never, like, I like teaching, it's fun, but I'd prefer to teach you guys how to log. That's way more fun, like how I do all the stuff I'm doing right now and the different techniques and stuff. That's why I kind of created that Greenhorn's Guide to Logging stuff, because I just wanted to show you guys how I do the things that I do. I don't think there's a right way to log or a wrong way to log. I don't think there's a right way to mod or a wrong way to mod. If you get the result that you were trying to get, regardless of how many corners you cut, I still think you're probably doing a good job. Now, there's a lot of very picky, pruny kind of people out there that might not agree with the way you do stuff, but you know what? That's why you do it for you and not for them, right? So that's the name of the game. But yeah, modding tutorials, that's something I never really... I get that question a lot. People want to be taught and people want to be trained and think I should make a full book or guide on it. And I'm like, yeah, I can see that, but it's a lot of work, first of all. And like I said, the information I'll give you might not be the right way to do it. There might be a better way to do it. So I'm always concerned that I'll teach you how to do something and then somebody will be like, actually, you do it like this, it's way better. And I'll be like, oh, well, now I have to rewrite everything or re-record everything. And yeah. Some people I work with, I'll give some degree of idea of what I do technique-wise too, but even then, it's just advice, you know, more than anything. So if I did something like that, I'd have to call it more of an advice instead of a tutorial, because it's, you know, this is what I do. If you find a better way, go ahead. But yeah. But yeah, like the actual logging tutorials, and I don't know, like there's something I really enjoy about teaching, you know, these techniques and logging and stuff like that. For using these joysticks, you know, the best procedures for what I've found while playing with my experience in it. And I would like to make more tutorial-like stuff to kind of show it off a bit more. I've been trying to kind of find the best way to do that. I think the only way I can really think of would be to have a map that's like a training map, and then have a video that goes along with the training map. But again, to get that all set up, like, I realize I'm not the game developer. I'm just doing all this because I want people to get into the game. I want people to use the mods. I want people to enjoy the mods. And I don't want it to be super, super tricky for people to get involved. So I try to make it as easy as possible on the website. You know, one super easy way to click and get it and get rolling and learning. But even then, I wish there was easier ways. How are we looking here? I think we got everything, didn't we? Let's get out and take a wander. So we got all the brown ones here. I'm just going to follow this road and kind of look in. I think we got them all. Man, time flies when I start talking. Hey, I just forget all about it. I'm like, oh. Yeah, and then that side, like I said, I'm just staying within our little confines here, but I think that's everything. Let's just make sure. We'll do kind of a perimeter check. Yeah, looking good, looking good. A few piles here and there. All right, right on. We did it. That was easy. Okay, let's trek this guy back on there and start trekking back here. So yeah, I mean, geez, you know, leave what you think in the comments about the future of modding, where it's gonna go, what's gonna happen. I kind of went all over the place with topics like I always do, but the main concept that I was trying to get across is what do you guys think is going to be the future? Do you think Farming Simulator is going to crank up the volume and maybe make logging more improved in the next game? Do you think it's going to be exactly the same but with a different title? What do you think? You know, there's lots of possible scenarios, and maybe by the time this video comes out, which is usually months in advance, there might be an announcement about something. You never know. So maybe by the time this video comes out, it'll be an obsolete question, as we'll already have an idea of what's happening. Maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, let me know in the comments, because I do like to hear from you guys and hear what you think about the future of logging and the future of gaming in general. It's all good things to know. All right, so let's load this guy back up, and I guess we'll head her back. It's gonna be getting pretty interesting here because we got fire season coming up, so we'll see how that affects our ability to log here. We'll see what kind of interesting quests we get put on. But yeah, anyway, well, I'm gonna head her back to Legion Hills here. Actually, we should probably do some more work on that one here soon. Maybe we'll look at that in the coming episodes, because I got some projects I want to go knock down some trees and stuff there. But yeah, if you guys liked the video, leave a like, leave a comment. Do not forget to subscribe, and if you're in the bush, don't forget to hug a tree. Alrighty, guys, we'll catch you on the next one. See ya.